I think volunteering is a contribution of one's time, energy, and talent to a particular need, a goal, or let's say a mission of an organization. I think is more of contributing to that particular end without expecting financial gain. Is you putting your time, your energy, the whatever talent you have. For example, if you're good with, let's say, video editing, for example, you put all of that into work for a particular goal without expecting, like demanding financial gain from it. It's more like what we do in churches where you volunteer to be part of the choir, you volunteer to play the drums, and then you don't actually expect any form of financial gain after doing all of that. So I think volunteering is similar to what happens in churches. It's similar to what happens in our communities, especially when they talk about community meetings. Let's say, for example, the landlords association meeting where landlords in the area come together and form a group, and then I mean they don't get paid for all of that. They just do it because they want the growth of the community, and they are all committed to it. So I think volunteering is basically all around us in different capacities, and one way or the other, we're involved in some kind of volunteering. For the priority for volunteering basically should be targeted at the young adults, adolescents. And I'm saying this because a lot of young people do not have the information they need at the time they need it. For example, a lot of families still feel like having talks on sex education is for a particular age. I mean, you must be in your 20s before you start talking about sex with your kids. In fact, some parents don't even talk about it at all. So I think that volunteering as individuals, if we can have these gaps filled, I mean, I don't think a child at 15, at 10, at 12 is too young to know about sex and to understand the benefits, the dangers, and the risks that come from indulging in young or indulging as a young person in sex. So I think sex education, for example, I'm just using that as an example. There are other things that could be filled in, but I think that the target should be the young adults. They need to learn a lot of things. There are a lot of information out there, and we need to guide them to know which to practice and which not to practice. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. These are all massive platforms for information for all these young people. And most of them just check it on their phone. They digest this information. There is no other kind of information to counter what they have gotten from these platforms. So if there are organizations, for example, growing up, I used to volunteer for uh, a health non-governmental organization that we've basically focused on adolescent health. We had what we call sexual reproductive health and rights for the young ones. So I was part of the people that we call ourselves peer educators. It's easy for me to convince somebody that was my age to lecture them about their rights, their sexual reproductive rights, and to also make them aware of their rights, what they can or what they can. When you say no, it means no. So it is easy for young people to convince younger people. When an adult is saying, "Don't do this," it's more like, "Why are they asking me not to do it? Let me do it. Let me try. Let me know what is there." But when somebody younger can convince us, it's easier for us to understand. So I think uh, a lot of things needs to be addressed, but I think the target should be the young adults. When it comes to even the football academies, there are lots of, in fact, there is Red Cross. I think there are lots of NGOs in the health sector who are trying to get this volunteer thing up and running. But let's talk about the in sports, for example, there are some football academies, there are some schools that try to raise their pupils or students in the line of, for example, growing up to, I was part of the team that represented my school for sprints. So when you get this opportunity, is a way to train you. Our teachers then, yes, they get paid for teaching us, but most of them were doing it for let's train these kids, let them be better. So I think volunteering has a lot to play, a lot more than we actually admit, to play in the role of an individual, in the life of an individual. Things. Volunteering is very good in a community It's good for community development, and it's also good to help nurture your talent as an individual. It will help you grow. It will help you, to expose you to people. You will get to understand how people think, and also it grows your talent. Majorly grows your talent.